Good evening, friends. A warm welcome to all. This is CA Stuti Mahajan from CA Sansar. So, today my topic is clarifications in respect of prescribed electronic modes under Section 269 SU of the Income Tax Act 1961. As you all know, Section 269 SU has been introduced by the government under Income Tax Act with an intention to promote cashless economy and digital mode of accepting payments. 269 SU सेक्शन जो इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया था कैशलेस इकोनॉमी को प्रमोट करने के लिए and section 269 SU prescribes for accepting payment through certain electronic modes as prescribed in addition to other electronic modes. जो हमारे पास पहले भी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड्स हैं जैसे आरटीजीएस हम लोग करवा रही हैं या हम लोग पहले भी जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड्स के थ्रू पेमेंट कर रहे हैं उसके साथ साथ एडिशनल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड्स जो है वो भी सेक्शन 269 SU के अंदर प्रिस्क्राइब किए गए. सो लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, एप्लीकेबिलिटी ऑफ सेक्शन 269 SU. Section 269 SU is applicable to all assessors, whether they are individual, HUF, company, LLP, or having any other status. If they are carrying business and if his total sales turnover or gross receipt in the business exceeds 50 crore rupees during the immediately preceding year. In case अगर किसी भी इंडिविजुअल HUF कंपनी और LLP अगर किसी की भी टर्नओवर या ग्रॉस रिसीट्स अगर उसकी 50 करोड़ रुपए से एक्सीड हो जाती है प्रीवियस ईयर के अंदर तो उसके ऊपर सेक्शन 269 SU जो है वो एप्लीकेबल हो जाएगा. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी विल स्टडी व्हाट टर्नओवर मींस. वहां पे हमने एक वर्ड यूज किया है कि अगर उसकी टर्नओवर इंक्रीज हो गई तो व्हाट टर्नओवर मींस. In the guidance note on terms used in financial statements published by ICAI, the expression sales turnover has been defined as the aggregate amount for which the sales are effected or services rendered by an enterprise. And in the statement issued by ICAI on the company's auditor's report order 2016, the word turnover has been defined as under the term turnover for the purposes of this clause may be interpreted to mean the aggregate amount for which sales are effected or services rendered by an enterprise. In simple terms, we can say कि turnover का meaning क्या है, जो gross receipts हमारे पास आई है, that we will call the turnover. So next, what is electronic mode of payment or e-payment system? An e-payment system is a way of making transactions or paying for goods and services through an electronic medium without the use of checks or cash. It's also called an electronic payment system or online payment system. Most popular e-payment forms online are credit and debit cards. Beside them, there are also alternative payment methods, mobile payments such as bank transfer, electronic wallets, smart cards, etc. सबसे पहले हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे क्या स्टडी किया कि जो हमारे एग्जिस्टिंग इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड ऑफ पेमेंट्स चल रहे हैं, जैसे हम लोग कैसे कर लेते हैं, डेबिट कार्ड के थ्रू पेमेंट कर दी, क्रेडिट कार्ड के थ्रू कर दी, आरटीजीएस कर दी, जिसमें कैश या चेक्स का यूज हम लोग नहीं करते हैं. सो नाउ उसके अंदर सेक्शन 269 SU में हमने एक वर्ड यूज किया है प्रिस्क्राइब्ड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड ऑफ पेमेंट. सो नाउ वी विल स्टडी what are the prescribed electronic modes of payment. As per section 269 SU, business who falls under section 269 SU has to compulsorily provide option to their customers to pay through modes prescribed by CBDT, and same will be in addition to other options of electronic payment provided business. CBDT has wide notification number 105 by 2019 income tax dated 30 December 2019, which prescribes following additional modes of payment for the purpose of section 269 SU by inserting new income tax rule 119 AA, जिसके अंदर हमें additional electronic modes of payment जो है वो recommend किए गए हैं. First one, debit card powered by RuPay. Okay, RuPay is the card scheme conceived and launched by the National Payments Corporation of India on 26 March 2012. It was created to fulfill the RBI vision to have a domestic, open and multilateral system of payments. RuPay facilitates electronic payment at all Indian banks and financial institutions. Apart from the main private sector and public sector banks, RuPay cards are also issued by cooperative banks in the country. Second one, UPI. Unified Payments Interface UPI, BHIM UPI. BHIM क्या है? Bharat Interface for Money is a payment app that lets you make simple, easy and quick transactions using UPI. You can make direct bank payments to anyone on UPI using their UPI ID with the BHIM app. You can also request money through the app from a UPI ID. Third one, UPI QR code. Unified Payments Interface Quick Response Code, UPI QR code, BHIM UPI QR code. So let's study. Bharat QR is P2M, person to merchant mobile payment solution. This solution is mutually derived from NPCI, Visa and MasterCard payment networks. Once the BQR codes are deployed on merchant locations, user can pay the utility bills using BQR enabled mobile banking apps without sharing any user credentials to the merchant. It is a quick method of payment. Bharat QR works as an alternate channel of payment where cardholder has to download his bank's Bharat QR enabled mobile banking app. User has to scan the Bharat QR code at merchant store and select card to make the payment. Once the payment is successful, both cardholder and merchant receive notification in mobile application for successful transaction. So now, what is the date of applicability of section 269 SU? The said provision is made applicable from 1st January 2020. What is the penal provision if we have not complied with section 269 SU? In case अगर हम ये जो 3 ऐप्स हैं वो नहीं कंप्लाई करते हैं अपनी इंडस्ट्री के अंदर अपने प्रीमाइसेस में, तो penal provisions क्या है उसके लिए? First of all, the penal provision for non-compliance of section 269 SU is covered by section 271 DB. And what the section 271 DB says? It says, if the above provision is not fulfilled with effect from 1st February 2020, penalty of 5,000 per day would be levied after 1st Feb 2020. But इसके अंदर क्या है? However, if the business fulfilled the criteria of install or operationalize digital payment system till 31st January 2020, so the penalty would not be levied. Okay. Now, we will study the circular number 12, 2020 dated 20th May 2020. अब क्या हुआ, ये वाली जो ट्रांजेक्शन इसके थ्रू कर रही हैं, जो लोग तो सिर्फ B2B काम करते हैं, उन लोगों ने अपने प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम्स बताई हैं कि उनका मेजर बिजनेस जो चल रहा है दैट इज गोइंग थ्रू RTGS. तो उसके लिए इन्होंने एक सर्कुलर निकाला है. लेट्स स्टडी इस सर्कुलर के अंदर क्या है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, in furtherance to the declared policy objective of the government to encourage digital transactions and move toward a less cash economy, a new provision, namely Section 269 SU, was inserted in the Income Tax Act 1961. This section requires every person carrying on business and having sales turnover gross receipts from business of more than rupees 50 crores in the immediately preceding previous year to provide facility for accepting payments through prescribed electronic modes, जो कि हमने अभी just study किए हैं. Subsequently, by notification number 105/2019 dated 30th December 2019, debit card powered by RuPay, UPI, BHIM UPI and UPI QR code, ये तीन है. Representations have been received stating that the above requirements of mandatory facility for payments through the prescribed electronic modes is generally applicable in B2C, business to consumer business, which directly deal with retail customers. Moreover, since the prescribed electronic modes have a maximum payment limit per transaction or per day, they are not so relevant to B2B, business to business transactions, which generally receive large payments through other electronic modes of payment such as NEFT or RTGS. Mandating such business to provide the facility for accepting payments through prescribed electronic modes would cause admin inconvenience and impose additional cost. As usual, जो मैंने आपको जस्ट अभी जो बताया है कि प्रैक्टिकली प्रॉब्लम्स क्या है, जो लोग तो डील कर रहे हैं B2B के साथ, उनकी पेमेंट होती है बड़ी। जब वो बड़ी पेमेंट और ये जो उन्होंने प्रिस्क्राइब्ड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड्स जो दिए हैं उसके अंदर कुछ लिमिट रख दी है कि पर डे की इतने ट्रांजेक्शन कर सकते हो या पर ट्रांजेक्शन आप इतने की कर सकते हो, जो B2C बिजनेस के लिए तो जस्टिफाइबल है, लेकिन B2B बिजनेस के लिए वहां पे इनकन्वीनियंस हो रही है और B2B में उसका यूज नहीं आ रहा, तो वो लोग क्या करते हैं, मैक्सिमम पेमेंट्स अपनी RTGS के थ्रू करते हैं, तो दैट्स व्हाई दे आर सेइंग कि उसकी एडमिन कॉस्ट ही उनको पड़ रही है। In view of the above, it is hereby clarified that the provisions of Section 269 SU of the Act shall not be applicable to a specified person having only B2B transactions. If at least 95% of aggregate of all amounts received during the previous year, including amount received for sales, turnover, or gross receipts, are by any other mode other than cash. सो दैट्स व्हाई उन्होंने क्या बोल दिया है, अल्टीमेटली उन्होंने यही बोला है कि जिनकी B2C ट्रांजेक्शन है उनके लिए तो ये मैंडेटरी है, लेकिन जिनकी B2B ट्रांजेक्शन है उनके लिए ये मैंडेटरी नहीं है। तो 269 SU की जो रिलैक्सेशन है वो इस सर्कुलर के अंदर दी गई है। थैंक यू।